Attraction. It feels like magic, but it's actually science. Psychologists have spent decades unlocking the secrets behind human attraction. And what they found might surprise you, from subtle gestures, to how often you see someone, to how confident you carry yourself. It all matters. Let's break down the 10 psychological triggers that make people feel that spark. Here's a weird truth. The more you see someone, the more likely you are to find them attractive. Mere exposure effect psychologists call this the mere exposure effect. It's one of the oldest, most reliable phenomena in human psychology. In one classic study, participants were shown unfamiliar faces. The more times they saw a face, even briefly, the more attractive they rated it. No words, no conversation, just repetition. That's why you might develop a crush on someone in your class or at your job, even if you never really talked. Familiarity builds comfort. Comfort builds trust. Trust creates attraction. Our brains evolved to associate familiarity with safety. The unknown meant danger, but something or someone we've seen often, our brain says, that's probably safe. I like it. Ever caught feelings for your barista just because they remember your name and coffee order? That's not just caffeine. That's exposure at work. So remember, presence matters. Sometimes just being there, again and again, is enough to plant the seed of attraction. We've been told opposites attract, but psychology says, not really. 2. Similarity over perfection. We're actually more attracted to people who are like us. Not perfect, just familiar. Shared values, similar interests, matching sense of humor. These things build instant comfort, and that comfort becomes attraction. In one study, couples with similar attitudes and personalities reported stronger connections and longer-lasting relationships. It's not about pretending, it's about resonance. We like what feels like home, even if it's in someone else. Perfection can be intimidating, but familiarity, it's safe, relatable, and deeply attractive. So when it comes to attraction, don't chase being flawless. Be real, be you, because the right people will be drawn to the parts of themselves they recognize in you. Perfection impresses, but imperfection connects. 3. The pratfall effect. Psychologists discovered something surprising. When someone who's competent makes a small mistake, we actually like them more. It's called the pratfall effect, and it reveals a deep truth about human attraction. When someone is too perfect, they feel distant, unreachable, unreal. But when they mess up just a little, it makes them relatable, human, approachable. This doesn't mean faking mistakes. It means embracing your humanness. In a world chasing polish, a little vulnerability might be the most attractive thing of all. Sometimes, the body speaks louder than words. 4. Body language matching. Have you ever noticed yourself crossing your arms right after the person you're talking to does? That's body language matching. And it's not just a coincidence, it's psychology. Studies show that when two people subtly mirror each other's posture, tone, or gestures, they feel more connected, more in sync. It tells the subconscious, this person is like me, and that feeling of similarity sparks trust, and sometimes even chemistry. It often happens unconsciously, but you can also use it intentionally, subtly, to build connection. Mirror their energy, not just their actions. When your body speaks the same language, attraction often listens. 5. Eye contact. It's powerful, primal, and deeply emotional. The psychology of eye contact. When two people hold eye contact, something incredible happens in the brain. The hormone oxytocin is released. That's the same chemical that builds trust, closeness, even love. In one study, strangers stared into each other's eyes for just 4 minutes, and many reported feelings of deep connection, even love. But it's not about staring. It's about presence. Holding someone's gaze with intention, not pressure. Balanced eye contact signals confidence, attention, and attraction. So, next time you're drawn to someone, don't look away too fast. Let the eyes do the talking. Sometimes, one good trait makes us assume the whole person is amazing. 6. The halo effect. It's a psychological shortcut. If someone seems attractive, kind, or confident, our brains fill in the blanks. We assume they're also smart, trustworthy, capable, even if we know nothing else about them. It's called the halo effect, and it skews how we see people, especially during first impressions. In one study, participants rated attractive individuals as more intelligent, competent, and kind, based on looks alone. It's not just about beauty. A calm voice, a confident posture, a good sense of humor, any standout trait can trigger it. First impressions matter. So, when you lead with your best, people often assume the rest. Attraction isn't always fair, but knowing how the halo effect works helps you use it wisely and see through it too. It's subtle. It lasts a second, but it can change how someone feels about you instantly. 7. The power of touch. In psychology, touch is one of the fastest ways to build trust, warmth, and attraction. In one study, waiters who lightly touched a customer's arm while handing the bill received significantly larger tips. When done right, touch communicates, "I see you. I connect with you." It's powerful and primal. Touch releases oxytocin, the bonding chemical, and reduces stress. Even a brief touch can make someone feel closer to you, but timing and context matter. The touch must feel natural, respectful, and welcome. A light, confident touch says, "I'm comfortable with you," and that confidence, very attractive. In the psychology of attraction, words matter, but sometimes a single touch says it all. We want what we can't have, or what we don't fully understand. 8. Scarcity and mystery. Psychology shows that scarcity, when something is rare or hard to get, makes it feel more valuable. In one study, identical cookies were rated higher when placed in a nearly empty jar. Same cookie, more desire, just because it felt scarce. Mystery works the same way. When someone doesn't reveal everything about themselves, curiosity kicks in, and curiosity is a magnet. You don't need to be distant or hard to reach. Just avoid giving it all away too fast. A little unpredictability, a touch of restraint. That's the psychology of allure. In attraction, mystery isn't about hiding. It's about revealing slowly and letting the mind do the rest. Emotions are contagious. Literally. 9. Emotional contagion. Humans are wired to mirror the feelings of those around them. It's an ancient survival mechanism and a powerful social tool. It happens through mirror neurons in the brain. When we see someone express emotion, joy, sadness, excitement, our brain fires the same emotional signals. That's why hanging around positive people lifts your mood, and why anxiety can spread in a room without a word. If you bring calm, others feel calm. If you show passion, others lean in. This isn't manipulation, it's emotional leadership. Attraction often begins not with what you say, but with how you make someone feel. So if you want to be more attractive, don't just think the right things, feel them. Others will too. What if your greatest connection comes from your weakest moment? 10. Vulnerability builds bonding. We spend so much time trying to look strong, confident, in control, but real closeness? It starts when we let that guard down. Psychologists call it self-disclosure. The more we reveal, especially our struggles, the more trust and intimacy we create. Vulnerability signals honesty, and honesty builds emotional safety, the foundation of attraction and deep relationships. In one study, strangers answered 36 vulnerable questions together, and many ended up falling in love. The magic isn't in being perfect. It's in being real and giving others permission to be real too. When you're brave enough to say, "I don't have it all together," someone out there will say, "Me too." Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the shortcut to human connection.